Hey yo, welcome back to my channel. I am the artist known as, and this is another of my eyes shut art story times, where I scribble down on a piece of paper with my eyes shut, and then make something from it afterwards. Today I have actually multiple stories for you, but they all center around the same focus. And let me ask you guys a question. What does a corner of a building, a sprinkler, and a wooden egg all have in common? Oh, you didn't think I was going to tell you right now. No. Just pay attention to the three stories, and by the last one, I think you'll know where this is going. Just pay attention. Anyways, here we go. First off, third grade. I was running around playing tag with all the other kids. We had maybe a 20 by 20 foot parking lot to run around in. And on two of the three sides of the parking lot, there was a wall for the school building, right? And we're running around, and I was not it, by the way, but I was being chased by who was it, and I took about 3 seconds to turn around and look back at him chasing me, and within those 3 seconds, I was able to turn back around and run straight into the building. Now, as you can assume, my head did not like this. I could not tell you how fast I was running, but I was running fast enough to split my head open and have to get 8 stitches in my head. So I was sitting there on the playground during recess with my head bleeding, waiting for the ambulance to show up. And yeah, I mean, that was the first one. I got shuttled off, 8 stitches, healed up. This one was definitely the least graphic. The other two will get a little more graphic. Just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. But this one was on the top of my head, so I couldn't really see anything, and I couldn't even describe it to you. Anyways, moving on to grade 4. We upgraded from a parking lot to a big open park field for our recess, and we had moved on from tag to 3 flags up. I don't know if kids nowadays even play these games or if they just stand around on their phones making TikToks. If you're anywhere near the age of grade school or even in school at the moment, comment below. What do you guys do during breaks and recess and all that stuff nowadays? So back to our game of 3 flags up. If you don't know what it is, it's where you have one thrower who throws a ball or something, and there's a group of people who all try and catch it, and whoever catches it 3 times before anyone else gets to be the next thrower, and so on and so forth. Also, let me know, if you have played this game, do you pronounce it 3 flies up or 3 flags up? Because I've heard it both ways, and I'm really curious on people's where they are and how they pronounce it differently and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, just curious. But we were playing, and I was one of the people trying to catch it, and we were maybe 5 minutes before the end of recess. So everyone was, really trying to catch it 3 times so they could at least be the thrower one more time before we had to go back to class. So I'm running around trying to catch it, and I already have 2 catches, so I'm so close. And they throw it behind all of us. We all turn around and we start chasing after it. And I run and I slide on my knees and I catch it. And I'm all stoked, yes. And then right when that happens, they go, all right, recess is over, time to walk back to school. And there goes all my hopes and dreams of that recess of me being a thrower. But, I settle with it, and we all start walking back to school. And we maybe get about 50 feet off the field. And my friend turns to me and goes, hey, your leg's bleeding. So I look down at my left leg. And sure enough, he's not wrong. My entire pant leg from my knee down is almost covered in blood. And it felt like a fucking bag of bricks hit me. All of a sudden, I could just feel all the pain. It was just so intense. And I literally couldn't walk after I looked at my leg. I just stopped and fell onto the ground in pain. And the fucking principal had to carry me back to school, which is across the street from the park. Then the ambulance came and picked me up, and I went to the hospital and got 14 stitches right below my kneecap. And the doctor said if I had gotten maybe half an inch closer to my kneecap, I would have ripped the whole thing off. But instead, it was just a big flap of skin they were able to attach back to my leg. Yeah, so that was pretty intense. Quick pause. Remember the beginning of the video when I brought up those 3 objects, the corner of the wall, the sprinkler head, and the wooden egg? Can you guess where this is going? If you think you know what it is, put it in the comments below and slap a like on this video. Otherwise, let's get into the last story. Flashing forward to 5th grade, we were working in woodshop class, making our own beautiful little wooden eggs. And it was towards the end of class, you know, like maybe the last 3 minutes, and our teacher had just told us all to pack up. I was so close to finishing my project though. I was like, there's no way I'm not going to be done before this class is over. And I'm going faster and faster trying to finish, right? Then, boom! Oh, shit. That went right into my forefinger. And that is when I realized I had almost cut the entire tip of my finger off from the knuckle to the tip. Now, there's no way this would have happened if I was taking the proper safety precautions and wearing my Kevlar glove, but I, being a reckless fifth grader, wasn't doing that. So I went back to the office again. You can imagine how much the faculty there liked me. Every year they had a feeling I had to go to the hospital at least once. Right? Fucking A. But we took me into the bathroom to clean up my wound while we waited for the ambulance to show up, right? And this was also the first time I ever fainted. They poured hydrogen peroxide all over my finger while pulling the wound as wide open as possible. And just looking at that, I don't want to describe it for anyone that it gets queasy with gore, because it was not pretty looking, but it made me faint. I woke up on the bathroom floor. Luckily they caught me and I didn't smack my head on the ground, because that would have been another injury. But yeah, so I went to the hospital, got that all taken care of. And by the way, I do have scars for every single one of these injuries. Obviously, you can't see my head one because I have a bunch of hair on my head right now. But my knee and my finger injuries, the scars are like it happened a year ago. They're still there. I don't think they're ever going away. And on that note, that's the end of my 3 stories. I'm sure by now you figured out the 3 objects and their correlation to my injuries. But if you didn't, now you do. Just learn from my lessons, hopefully. If you're a young kid doing this crazy shit, or even an adult, be safe, but also make sure to have fun. You know, it's that balance. Kind of like me getting pulled on the cars, you know, with the skateboard and shit. It's the balance. Alright, I'll stop with the balance shit. But on that note, I'm happy you stayed to the end of the video if you're still listening. If you're not already and you enjoyed my content, subscribe for more. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. I don't give a fuck. I'm out. Shoots.